One of the biggest problems with taking extended breaks from something like Dead by Daylight is always going to be the fact that I am going to miss out on patches and changes and shifting landscapes within the meta. So when I came back to Dead by Daylight after taking roughly 7 weeks off of the game, and I booted up my favorite character, VECNA, I was expecting something. You see, in my absence, there was apparently this very minor yet big discussion around VECNA and whether or not he had become too powerful after his buffs. Now, this discussion was never so big that it ended up reaching some of the major YouTubers, at least not that I could find, but it did exist over Twitter and Reddit, and unfortunately, as much as we would like to forget that Twitter and Reddit exist, they are part of the community, and therefore their opinions do spark some sort of discussion from time to time. Just don't get too close. You'll get cancer. In any case, in order to make sure that I had this discussion correct around VECNA's power level, I invited a good friend of mine and fellow VECNA main, Arshimi Bob. Arshimi Bob is a top 10 VECNA player. He is one of the best VECNA players in the community. In fact, when people come to me for VECNA content, I actually redirect them to Arshi because I believe he is better at providing VECNA content than I am, and he can teach you how to play the game better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion. We spoke for about 25-30 minutes about it, whether or not VECNA is super powerful, where VECNA sits at on the tier list, and how much you need in order to get around him. We also briefly spoke about our dogs.
Hi, I'm Arshimi Bob. I play VECNA a bit too much. Not right now, because the game's kind of buggy, but like I'm still biding my time. VECNA is a fun character. That's my only personality trait. Yeah.
It's my only personality trait. And a far better.
At this point, I would be surprised if it wasn't.
And a far better VECNA. It's always funny because like people will come to me and they'll be like, "You're the best VECNA main I know," and I was like, "You don't know a lot of VECNA mains then." Because
I mean, the glorious thing about playing VECNA is that we're all good at different things. I wouldn't say there's like a best VECNA player in general.
Yeah, like my specialty is insta-tech, and then once the survivors know how to counter it, I'm just kind of fucked from there.
That's so real though.
I have one thing that I do well.
I gotta put you on Spansling.
Yeah, I've tried practicing it, but I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to actually use it in a real scenario. But I've practiced it.
It keeps them especially instilling viable when survivors know how to crouch. I find.
Yeah.
Which VECNA does kind of need help about, which segue into something maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of sucks dookie if survivors know what they're doing. Like specifically, not just in general, but also specifically against VECNA, just because he's kind of a, let's be honest, a bit of a noob stomper character.
Yeah.
In the terms of like he's just like a big knowledge check.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have like consistent value things. It just makes it a lot harder to play against survivors that are like, oh my god, maybe I should press the crouch button when he pulls up the skeletons. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, and the thing that I love about him is that the counters that they have, you also have ways to get around that. That's what the insta tech is for. That's what the elevation tech is for.
Exactly.
Let's crouch these bitches. But like, so the reason I invited you here today, you already know, but chat doesn't know, is that when I left, so I was gone for 7 months, for those of you who don't know, or 7 months, 7 weeks, Jesus fucking Christ. VECNA had just gotten big buffs. Now, before those buffs, I had him at the top of B tier as like the gatekeeper to A. Like if you were better than VECNA, I put it in A tier. Is that whereabout did you have him before the buffs?
I find it really hard to put him on a tier list because like if you look at like most of my games alone, he looks like A tier, but also it's NA West, so not a lot of players, let's be honest. But like from what I'm seeing and my own personal experience from playing against good teams, I would say at the higher levels, like B tier, maybe B minus. Even like it really depends on where we're going with this. Okay, so if you're playing in comp with restrictions, maybe you can have a case to put him higher. But genuinely against survivors that like know exactly what you're doing, even though you do have some countermeasures, he is kind of like poop from a butt. Especially before the changes, when you when you're not as fast, so you can't like swap targets as easy.
Yeah.
He's just way too punishing for the amount of mistakes the survivors can force you to make, compared to like most other killers who have a lot more consistent value. That's something that VECNA that is really important on VECNA is consistency. Just because you have such long cooldowns, it's really inconsistent to miss like one. Like if you fuck up and chase and you have no spells for the next 20 seconds, you basically don't have a chase for the next 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Dracula is like hot swapping between 3 different bullshit abilities, but that's a different story.
That's a different discussion. Because like when I was gone, like people were like, after his buffs, people were like freaking out and they're like, oh no, he's like super duper A tier now, he's like overpowered. And then I came back and I know I'm washed, but I don't see the super A tier like high, you know. I can see him teetering A still, and like Fly is fucking strong as shit now. That's hands down one of the best map mobilities in the game outside of like teleports. Like you fly so fucking far and so fast. But
I'd say it's less strong for map mobility and more just for like burst movement. It's like kind of like a budget Kaneki. When Kaneki came out, I'm like, this guy doesn't have like insane map mobility, but he has really good burst mobility. And like if VECNA sees you, he's getting on top of you.
Yeah. And like I think like I think like one of the biggest things that gets missed when discussing VECNA's power level, first off, it's the skill floor. Like VECNA's skill floor is stupid. When I did my coaching series, I had several people that would like submit VECNA clips to me, and they just threw out spells like it was fucking Pinhead's chains.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like no shade towards like any newish VECNA players. Sometimes your gameplay is horrendous, but like also your gameplay is gonna be horrendous for like the first like 20 games or something. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, the massive mistake most newer VECNA players make is 110% just throwing spells out like candy. They're 100%,
like, especially skeletons. Oh my god, the amount of times I see people like they throw out skeletons like it's an all you can eat buffet and they've got an entire row.
They think they're playing artist. I think like
literally people heard the artist bird comparison and they went miles.
Yeah, it's either throwing out spells like you have an infinite amount of them, or they like pick like one spell and then that's their safety net. They just like hold on to like just the skeletons or just mage hand and they never use anything else. And then they're like, actually, VECNA's fucking D tier, bro. Like, I can't believe
the mobile experience.
So yeah, so I wanted to make a video basically discussing his power level because, from my perspective as a VECNA main, it hasn't changed much. It feels better, like he definitely feels better to play, but I didn't see his power level shift too much. So I wanted an experienced VECNA player who hasn't been gone for 7 weeks to give his opinion, which is why I brought you on. Because, like, I don't see that big of a jump in power. Like, it's definitely better, and I think it's more beginner-friendly, but I haven't seen that much of a jump in power from VECNA.
I mean, obviously he is stronger. The buff, his buff's not thing, but I do think playing him before and after that he is like significantly stronger. I don't think he's like pushing A tier. I think at the very least he's like bottom of or top of B plus. Again, it really depends on like the environment he's in. I think in general for like semi-experienced pubs, like you're playing against like actual people, I think high B tier, because the thing is they buffed the part of him that's most consistent, his fly. Obviously they made it less consistent, but his fly was already not consistent when used around windows and pallets. Any like decent survivor knows that they can just wait for you and then vault through.
Yeah.
So technically that wasn't changed. It's now harder to like punish survivor mistakes if they like go past the window, for example. It's harder to use fly and chase. But the fact that you have a more consistent map mobility and like dispelling sphere as well, I think the dispelling sphere changes actually do push him up a lot, because it rewards close range spheres, which you're mostly doing anyways, because using it at long range kind of fucks you over sometimes. Because if they move out of the way, because they have I always forget what the items are called. Dispelling sphere item.
Yeah.
Then you're getting false info. It's like Schrodinger's gen jockey. You don't know if they're on the gen or not unless you check.
Yeah.
So having it be faster incentivizes you to use it closer, and I think it works a lot better to disable magic items mid-chase and also scan the environment while you're moving forward to go to a generator.
Yeah.
But also reaching the generator faster so that you reveal them so that they don't like go hide behind a wall. So you disable their magic item, and so they don't have time to react if they have the dispelling sphere item. And the fly changes, obviously. I think that's the main part people are complaining about, especially on Twitter. I mean, what dumb people complain about on Twitter. But
I uninstalled Twitter last year. Like,
yeah, Blue Sky's kind of the meta now. But I think the fact that fly is so much more consistent in terms of like actually going places, because I think before the patch I tested it, I think it gave you 1 second of distance, which is like still 1 second of distance, but like it's not much. Now I think it's like 3 seconds, so it's a lot better in terms of map mobility. It goes a lot faster.
Yeah.
So you're able to, 1, punish and snowball a lot faster. 2, move around the map a bit faster, especially because they nerfed the cooldown, or they buffed the cooldown by 5 seconds. I don't know why they ever buffed the speed and the cooldown in the same patch. I'm gonna be so real. I think staying at 25 or even going to 30 and not having the post-fly cooldown nerfed would have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't think fly is like... I don't think fly is like broken, as people say. I think it's unfun is the word. Because okay, people call VECNA dash slop now. As long as his fly takes 3 to 5 business years to M1 afterwards, that shit will never be dash slop. If you have a single pallet or window, he is cooked. But the fact that you can at least catch up to people faster than you see from a distance, like with old fly, you might see someone from, I don't know, like 40 meters away. You fly to them, you catch up, and you still have like 10 meters to go. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Now, you have a lot more than 10 meters, and not only that, Decisive Strike basically doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it does if they reach a resource, but like, you can fly. I remember getting DS'd like day 1 of the VECNA buffs, and I got to that guy, and there was still a full second of fly left. Like, it's actually insane. Hitting or flying after sorry?
No, go for it.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say you were about to talk about flying after M1. That's like one of the biggest like advantages is because before I would use fly mostly to get from place to place. Because if you used it after an M1 before and they reached like a pallet or a window, you just kind of wasted your ability. But now it's so fucking fast, it's like you can cut people off now, which is the best part. That's like you said. What did you say earlier? Budget Kaneki. That's exactly what you are.
Budget Kaneki, yeah.
You just use fly to cut people off. So like the power levels definitely jumped. But I just don't think it's jumped as much as people are saying. Like when I was like, I have a channel in my Discord called Dumb Comments, where people will like screenshot. We censor names because we don't want witch hunts. But people like screenshot like arguments and comment sections and Twitter and shit like that. And one dude was like, VECNA has 8 perks. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, they fucking I gotta see if
necessary. Swim burst. What else? I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. The channel gets flooded. Like people flood the channel with them because like we all like making fun of dumb comments.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dead by Daylight stupid takes almost goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Killers are mentioned. Let's see. The fact I can 4K in 3 minutes with no perks and no add-ons on VECNA because his 4 powers are perks and are ridiculous is obnoxious. All these killers, they keep coming out, give no counterplay, other than just run because
No
of their powers.
counterplay.
No counterplay. Vecna
No
has
counterplay.
yeah. Okay.
Against the knowledge check killer. Oh my God.
He's the here it is. He's the only killer in the game with 4 perks on demand and 4 perks he can equip. He's basically running 8 perks. So if you don't know how to play versus him, he's busted as fuck. Well, yeah. So is Trapper.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't know the counterplay, you'll struggle. That's how it works. That's literally how it works.
Wait.
And I get that his skill for it, like especially to play against, might be like really troubling, but I don't think it's that hard. Like I struggle. Funnily enough, I struggle against Vecna, but that's more of a mechanical skill issue on my end than like knowledge. But also I suck at Survivor, so that probably doesn't help. But it's still like I feel like I mean, it doesn't help that Dead by Daylight. If you don't have an outside resource, you're not figuring anything out. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I definitely get it. There's a big misinformation. That's part of the reason why I like made videos in the first place, because Vecna is very misunderstood. From what I've figured out, especially Flight of the Dam usage, but
Flight of the Dam might be the most misused spell in Vecna's kit.
100%. I see people throw it out like it's nothing.
I remember when
like,
Vecna first dropped, everybody thought Flight of the Damned was like his worst spell, and then we discovered
people thought it was his best until someone crouched for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like we discovered Instatex and elevation to it, like, and that's like the big thing about Vecna is that we had to come up as Vecna players. We had to invent various ways to use his powers. Because if you just use his spells, they don't work well. They don't. You have to know what you're doing. This guy also said that Vecna has barbecue on demand. Where? What spell?
Yeah, the slow ass dispelling sphere, obviously. That you as soon as you hook, you actually Vecna has a little microchip in his neck. He taps into it, and he knows this like. He knows the general area of the survivors, so he has to send the Dispelling Sphere, but he also gets 3 more, so he can send it towards every survivor. Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
You haven't been utilizing that? What
no,
the fuck?
Dude, that's crazy, man. I'm about to up my game. I'm about to become a top 10 Vecna like you, man. No, dude, but it's like, and that's like the big thing. And so when I do tier lists, I don't know how you do them, but when I do tier lists, I try to take as much objectivity into account. So like their map reliance, their, you know, whether or not they go against good or bad survivors is both relevant and irrelevant. Like I try to picture like how many options can you take away from the survivor? And that's like, I don't think that Vecna really has that big of a map reliance. I would say like indoor maps are kind of hard because Fly is hard to navigate with its floaty bullshit sometimes, but I don't think his map reliance.
He definitely has. Yeah, he has bad maps, but it's not like I feel okay. Also, I mean, I guess he kind of has map reliance because it helps a lot if there's a lot of elevation, but also
yeah, flatter maps can be a pain.
Yeah, also not a big deal though. Like obviously, if you get put on Badham, you're probably crying, but like who isn't crying when they get put on Badham?
We were playing Survivor today, and we played against a Huntress, and that poor girl could not do shit because she just could not patrol the gins at all.
I hate that map so much.
Oh my god.
I mean, okay, I guess Vecna does have a bit of map reliance because he does excel on maps where you can't chain tiles as easily. Like, I would say, personally, his worst map is Larry's. Because, 1, it's indoor. 2, that map fucking sucks. 3, for every, like, pallet, there's a window directly next to it. So, Mage-Hand is, like, really difficult to use. Also, those loops where, the 4 lanes as well, with the window in the middle is really rough because you have to play around... Basically, if you have to play around 2 different resources, you're kind of in for a bad time. Like, double pallets, Vecna kind of sucks, so he gets a downgrade on some of those maps.
Yeah. Anywhere
where the survivor can just, like any auto haven map, because that map is really stupid for some reason. And it's been bugged for, like, what, how long? Like a year?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. They might as well just put it in a patch note as a change at this point. Auto haven spawns every map on the map now. Spawns every pallet now. Buff to auto haven spawns every pallet now. No, actually,
switched the game and then added added it all. Take all of the Gideon pallets and give it to Auto Haven. Let's go make Azeroth's resting place a more miserable experience.
No, I actually see where you're coming from. Because yeah, if a map is flat and if there's too many resources next together, because the core of VECNA is 1 spell per health state. If you cast more than 1 spell to get a health state, you're kind of using him inefficiently. But sometimes you don't have a choice. If there's double pallets set up, if there's 4 lanes, if there's... Shack is a bitch. I fucking hate Shack as VECNA.
Shack, if you have no fly to them, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Also, I don't necessarily agree with 1 spell per health state. I think it's definitely very circumstantial. Like, if the guy's injured, I will totally just, like, combo Mage Hands to get pallet control and then Fly the Damned. Because, like, by the time you find someone, again, you're gonna have your spells up. Especially since Vecna's spells are, like, they keep nerfing the cooldowns. I'd rather they buff the spells, but that's a different conversation for a different day. It really depends. If you're gonna need the spell in the next 30 seconds, then like probably don't cast it. But also like if you're in a dead zone and this is the only pallet for like miles around, I totally will just use Mage Hand, Fly the Dam to get a single health state and then fly up to the guy in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also like, and that's another, like I said, I brought you on because a lot of VECNA changed. Because before, when his spells were like 45 fucking seconds or whatever, you had to do 1 spell per health state because I mean, you needed this shit.
Oh yeah, it's a big why did behavior limit him so much moments.
Yeah, because it's like, and that's what's like, he's far less punishing now. So, what the fuck?
Is that a dog?
It was. I don't know why she's barking. It's our old one. We have a 14-year-old mutt who's going blind in one eye, and sometimes she gets irritated with the husky. So.
Damn. My dog gets irritated at nothing. I literally caught him barking at nothing he was staring out the window, and like usually he's barking at people. I look outside, he's still barking. I don't see anything. So like. I think dogs are legit just programmed to like. Sometimes I feel like dogs are programmed to like piss you off in the least like least obvious way possible, but it's okay. So because he's very small and he's very cute, so he gets away with it.
Yeah, when I was like 18, my mom sneezed and all 4 of the dogs in the house started barking like randomly after she sneezed. I was like, what the fuck?
It's her immune system.
Yeah. So. So yeah, so I think you and I could both agree that VECNA's not broken.
Oh, definitely not.
I feel like a lot of the stuff I was seeing was complete overreactions to his buffs because it did make him easier to play. It did make him more consistent. But at the end of the day, the knowledge check that is required to both play as and against him is so high that I don't see how he could be that big of a problem.
Exactly. He's like. Again, excuse me. What I said before, his fly isn't like broken, but it is unfun. I do get the complaints to some degree, and again, I wish it wasn't as spammable, but also it is far from being like. It is far from being broken. It definitely has gone up. Like for example, I don't know why you had a 15-second timer to use it at the start of the game when Kaneki's already like halfway across the map. That part was stupid. But also, again, it takes like 3 to 5 business years, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
To M1, which like, yeah, it is annoying on some maps with like big gaps between pallets and like dead zones, but like Wesker gets the hit there. Like Wesker excels in that situation. I don't think it's a new concept.
Yeah, dead zones are dead zones. What are you gonna do? Like, I mean, and the fly does. I don't think people realize how long it takes to M1 with fly. Like, I remember very vividly, I flew over like a pallet. This dude dropped a god pallet, and I flew over it, and he had enough time to walk past me, vault the pallet, vaulted back into me, slow vault it back over, and then I was able to M1. Like,
it's so bad, especially with no potion of speed.
Yeah, like, and then potion of speed doesn't do that much. It really doesn't, man. Like, I have a build that uses monitor and the robe that lowers your terror radius. and I was using Potion of Speed, but I just went for Raven Feather for longer fly duration, just because like
yeah, Raven Feather is really good.
Now that build is funny because you just sneak up on people. Like, you'd use lethal, and then in the beginning of the match, you just fly toward them with an 8-meter terror radius.
So you think survivors would hear the loud-ass Vecna groaning while he's flying.
So you just jump scare survivors, because you're just all of a sudden on top of them. So yeah, no, that build is hilarious. I never thought I'd be able to jump scare people with a Vecna, but...
he's got a lot of build variety.
Yeah, he does. That's the best part about him, is that I mean, that's why, if anybody ever is like, should I main Vecna? I will tell them, if you like a lot of build variety, then yes. Vecna has the most amount, I won't say the most, but to me, he has like one of the largest build variety in the game. Like, it's so...
I mean, he does have 8 perks. So
yeah, he does have... Oh my god. But, yeah, hopefully people out there have kind of understand where me and Archie are coming from. If you're calling for Vecna nerfs, I'm sorry. I just don't. I think it's just a skill issue at that point, and I don't want to insult anybody. I do want to insult you, but I don't want to insult you in the middle of a conversation. I feel like conversations are better without insults, but I do genuinely think that if you struggle against Vecna, you just need to learn how to play against the character. And Archie's channel is great for that. I don't have as many guides about playing against Vecna as I do as playing as Vecna. But if you struggle against it, Archie and I would be happy to answer your questions. Like, we want to teach you how to play against the killer, so you can shut the fuck up.
Hell yeah. Yes, please. I need my kill rate to go down. It struggles. I need challenges. I'm trying to breed an army of Vecna expert survivors and unleashing them in West.
That's exactly what we need, man. We'll teach you. I promise. I did a whole like
challenge.
Yeah, dude. I did a whole like lecture on stream like a couple of months ago. Somebody one of the survivors I played against, they were like, "God, how do you play against this fucking killer?" And I was like, "Come to stream, I'll tell you." I did like a 35-minute lecture on how to play against. I brought up Microsoft Paint and everything.
Oh, that's how you know it's getting serious.
Yeah, bro. I fucking pulled up the Microsoft Paint and drew diagrams and everything. I was like, I will teach you.
There's like 3,000 different flowcharts. The funniest thing is, like, as the Vecna player, what you do really does depend on, like, what the survivor knows. So, like, half of the first chase, at least for me, is, like, trying to figure out, does he know?
Yeah.
Are they a knower? Like,
yeah.
Like, do they fall for the simple shit? And if they do fall for the simple shit, do I do the advanced shit? And it gets to a point where, like, sometimes the survivor gets so smart that they start, like, falling for the simple shit again. There's an entire different, like, flowchart for each, like, survivor's skill level.
Yep.
And you can sometimes, like, mix and match. It's really confusing, but I think it's really awesome and cool.
And sometimes a survivor can be so stupid that it fucks you up. Like, dude. I went to instant. So the play, I forget where I was running. I think I was running this girl in like Shack or something. And the play was for her to duck into God Palette so that I couldn't actually swing and hit her. So I went to insta-tech God Palette. She just kept running straight into a dead zone. She just W-keyed straight into a dead zone. I was like, you psychopath. Why would you ever... What? It saved her.
I know, right?
It saved her because my cooldown was too long before I could catch up to her, and she just got away. And I was like, "What? Okay, I guess."
It's like you can't read someone's brain if they don't have a brain. The amount of times I've missed an insta because they're not hugging the wall. Like, maybe it's intentional, right? Maybe they're invoking the unknown counterplay. But yeah. I just watched this guy pre-drop God Palette at 5 generators. I don't think they have the mindset to do that. So please explain to me why you're running the long side of Shack in a fucking U shape. Why would you ever do that? You have lost, like, let me get the cool hit, bro. I don't want to M1 you. That's lame. Let me hit the through the wall insta, please. Thank you.
I had the fucking I'm gonna upload it soon, but I had this game on Bitchham with this Sable who like never looped anything. She just W keyed everywhere and never dropped a pallet, never vaulted a window, and I was so fucking confused. And then once she got on Death Hook, she started like pre-dropping pallets like 9 miles ahead of me.
What perk is that? What kind of anti-tunnel? What kind of anti-tunnel shenanigan?
I was so fucking confused, dude. I was like, how do I play against this? Like, I couldn't insta-tech her because she never ran in a loop around anything. She never used the cars. She would just W key. If I tried to fly after her, she would like duck into a building and then she would just W key through the building and out of it. I couldn't mage hand because she wasn't dropping anything. And then when she did drop something, it was too far away for me to mage hand. So it was like, oh, okay.
I mean, if it works.
Yeah, like,
if it works.
Your opponent can't know what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. I was running that shit like Forsaken.
Oh my god. Well, Archie, I this has been a fun conversation. I'm gonna let you go for today. Before you get out of here, is there anything you want to say to the people watching on YouTube or in the Twitch chat?
Listen to your idol.
You know what? That's fair enough. And if you want to join me and give it a great big special thank you to our channel members, listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much. I'm sure Archie does as well, and we'll see you in the next one.